Welcome to another episode of Rivals, and in today's episode we're going to be looking at the last episode for Gran Turismo 4 for now. In fact, after this there's only 6 more Gran Turismo episodes related until we switch up the games, which is something I've kind of admittedly been looking forward to, because don't get me wrong, I like doing the Gran Turismo stuff as well, because, you know, a lot of you do want to see it, but I think I've been doing it for so long for this series now that I kind of, you know, want to get something, a bit of a change, so there is that. Anyways, for the last episode of GT4 for now, we're going to be going over to Grand Valley Speedway. I believe this was requested by ijast. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at 2 competitors in, what was it, the GTP class or something? In fact, no, I think they were in different classes, technically. I can't remember. I'd have to look into it more. But we're going to be looking at 2 major competitors within the 1999 24 Hours of Le Mans, which of course includes the TSO20 Toyota GT1 race car and the 1999, of course, BMW V12 LMR, the overall winner at Le Mans, and the GT1 was second overall, was looking on pace to win the whole thing, but reliability issues kind of cost it its chance at winning. Seems to, unfortunately, be a plague that Toyota has suffered much throughout its history at Le Mans. I mean, 2016, for example, was just tragic. Only a few minutes away from the race being over, and it broke down. And then 2017, well on pace, easily the best car, but it just couldn't. The reliability has just always been an issue. I'm hoping they finally get it solved, because I would love to see them finally get that victory, but it may be too little too late, as their major competitors are no longer in LMP1. It's too expensive now, and that's really a big issue that the league needs to fix. They're putting way too much money on it. Anyways, let's not worry about that right now. We're going to start, of course, with the V12 LMR. I'm going to just put the best tires on it for best lap time sake and, you know, best handling sake, because, you know, hot lapping makes sense. This cable is starting to act up. I'm starting to think that the PS4 controller just doesn't like cables very much. It's very annoying. It's there it goes again. And every time that happens, I have to see that goddamn message. Really? Oh my god, this is supposed to be one of the nicer cables too, and it's already doing this. It's like, fucking really? Whatever. As long as it's working right now, I won't try to move it much or anything. Anyways, let's, of course, go into the driver's mode and get some times. Now, I did actually receive a comment not too long ago saying, perhaps I should probably consider doing these laps in B-Spec mode, but honestly, if I were to do that, that would just kind of rid of the point, because then we'd just be looking at a car doing a lap around rather than my personal driving skill making the most out of what I can do, and that's something I just feel like wouldn't be very good watching. You'd probably all more be interested in watching someone, like, you know, someone human behind the wheel actually driving the car. So if I were to suddenly switch it up and, you know, have an AI drive it, then that just wouldn't feel right. So, you know. So yeah, this is actually the first proper episode I've recorded of Rivals in about like 3 months or something. The last one I did was in May, which I only just now got around to uploading very recently because I'm very slow at things. But yeah, I just decided, you know what, it's been long enough. I probably should get some of these out. And, you know, I still got plenty of episodes to go. I mean, I opened up that HG Central Discord and I had a page for that. I should have mentioned it. I probably should have left it closed because it's now up to like 60 episodes, and this is what, 25. So about you know, 35 more episodes to go. We got quite a ways to go before I can really start getting down to some of the more recently requested stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so what do I think about the V12 LMR? It's actually pretty nice. It's very stable, very kind of smooth. Not too bad on the handling department. I quite like it. Hang on, sorry, I've just got to move my might share a little bit. Again, I'm just kind of keeping the trying to keep the controller in a secure spot. All right, you know, let's switch to analog sticks so I can try to get some more precise throttle. All right, there we go. We're looking quicker already, I think. Well, except for there, because I accidentally shifted one too far down because I'm an idiot. But we are still going faster, so... Well, unless you consider that one, I don't know if that was any better. And yeah, if you're wondering why I sound a little more monotone, I've only been up for like what time is it even? Probably, you know, like an hour and a half. So not very long. It's like 11 in the morning or something. Yeah, because yes, I'm a bit of an early bird. In fact, sometimes when I really need to get up, or if I'm working, I'm up at like 8:30. I'm an early bird guy. I don't really like sleeping in late, to be honest, because then I miss most of the day. And it honestly feels like when I get up later, it feels like the day feels a lot shorter for some reason. But when I get up earlier, it generally feels like there's more to the day. So, you know, I like to get up earlier because then it just feels like it's, you know, I'm getting more out of the day anyways. So anyways, where are we at? 1 minute 33.403, so about nearly a second off there. Ooh, we've gone wide. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking about something. What? You seen, actually, I'm going to actually bring up that B-Spec, because I got an idea. You've seen what I can do with it. The kind of time, like, if I were to, you know, improve, this would definitely go like 132, maybe even sub 132. I wouldn't be, but let's go with the, what a fast lap time would look like. Now, let me just speed. I'm gonna just speed up so it gets to the finish line here. All right. So let's remove the display and let's take a look at the car. So yeah, the V12 LMR pretty much was BMW's entry into. Yeah, that's also kind of another reason I wasn't considering of using the B-Spec right there already. They're not perfect. They'll screw up the lap times too, so. Also, I just realized just how this can't stay really well in focus. And I think that, and personally, I think that actually is more of an emulator issue, because I think in the actual game when you're doing this, oh, I wanted to switch to push. That might be why. I don't usually use push, because when you make them push, they really get all sad. Push really just is if you're like far down, but you really have to constantly keep looking it over. Anyways, since this lap time was a bit of a dud, I'm just gonna speed it up a bit again. But yeah, that was only a 138.5, so yeah, that's also another reason I guess why I wouldn't consider it, because I don't think the AI really ever, B-Spec will really ever go faster than you can, because of certain ways they take the things and whatnot. Well, at least this time you managed to keep it on the road, which is good. But again, it's like, it's just these kind of, you have no control of the car, and it's just, you don't know what it's going to do, is pretty much why I prefer to do this with A-Spec. So I hopefully can at least answer that to you. In fact, look at that. Yeah, it's still even without the going wide there, it's still about 1.5 seconds behind. So that's pretty much another reason. It's like, yeah, and look at that, already 2 seconds. So that should hopefully answer your reason to why I would prefer to stick with A-Spec. Sure, if it can mean, you know, perfect laps, but it's more like, you know, non-trouble if on a good fast lap. But that was still a 137, and yes, this lap wasn't perfect, but a 133.4 I think speaks for itself in comparison. But yeah, the V12 LMR, it did a good showing. It might have showed why it was the winner of the Le Mans '99. It actually wasn't, but here's the thing. There's actually a little bit of a secret. It actually wasn't the fastest vehicle. that year. Because this was. Now you may be asking, oh fuck, I went one too far away. Okay. Hang on, I gotta just do one quick thing here. If I could, you know. There we go. I really like to do that glitch. And I know someone asked me about that too. Basically, go to a car color, just go all the way to the furthest one to the right, and basically just keep. And as soon as you press X, mash on the right, on the left analog stick, and like going right, and that's how you'll get it working. There is a reason why I wanted to do this, because stealth Toyota GT1. This is honestly some in terms of the stealth models. This is amongst probably the stealthiest. It looks sweet. It really does. But yeah, the three other stealth models is the Mazda 787B, the Nissan R92CP, and the Nissan R390. Anyways, hang on, just double checking to make sure I did choose super stealth. All right, good. So yeah, so the GT1 was actually the fastest car of Le Mans in '99. It had tremendous pace, and even just, you know, despite that, '99 was a really stacked year. There was a lot of competitors, like notably from, you know, Mercedes and Nissan, and you know, there's probably even more than I'm forgetting too. There was Audi. There was a lot of competitors in '99, but it's a shame that these years you just don't have that much variety anymore, especially in an LMP1, where honestly Toyota is really the only one left. Which kind of gives it, which would mean that if they were to go into 2018 and they finally got the win, would it really mean anything? Because they had no competition in their class. It would seem like a frugal victory. Like, it just wouldn't mean it would it really mean anything? But yeah, Toyota in '99, they were really pushing. They had the GT1 in '98, and it did show promise even there too, but reliability issues plagued it, so it really prevented showing what the car could do. So '99, they said, we're going to come back, we're going to be stronger, we're going to get the car's reliability sorted out, and we're going to win it all. And for a while, it seemed like that was exactly what was going to happen. And then more reliability issues happened, but, you know, near the end, they were able to get a car to make a big push for it, and it was well on pace to potentially regain the lead and take it all, until what little left to go. I believe a tire punctured, and that sealed its chances, and that was why with BMW, despite not being a slower car, not being as quick of a car, and I think even being in a different class, it just had the reliability to keep going, and with that, BMW took the win overall because of it. So that's pretty much your little bit of history lesson right there. Now, so anyways, what do I think of the GT1? Surprisingly, this interestingly, and I never thought I'd say this because I fucking love the GT1, but I think that the BMW handles a little better. I mean, maybe I just had a bad lap with it, which is, you know, very possible. But, you know, it feels like it could take some of the corners a little better. Whereas with this, it feels like there's a bit more understeer at play. It's certainly, in terms of straight line ability, it's certainly faster than, or, you know, relatively the same speed in some areas as the V12 LMR, but it just doesn't handle as sharp, and I think that's hurting it. Because, you know, this is a high speed focused track. You know, there's a lot of sections in Grand Valley Speedway where speed can really come into play, but I can't exactly push it all down with the GT1 here. Which again is a real shame. I personally have always preferred the GT1 over the V12. The V12 I just don't think is a particularly appealing looking car, but, you know, it was at least more reliable IRL, I guess, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to push it here, but it's like, you know, it's a 134.4, so, you know, close, but still not. I'd still have to find nearly a full second to knock off. and that's going to be what makes it, you know, challenging. Because even on a not so perfect lap, the V12 got down to a 133.4, and this one I felt like I was pushing it. At this time, we're going to stay in third instead of having to shift to kind of save the length of... Oh, hello. This actually is looking interesting. I didn't realize I was about a second ahead. Again, staying in third. No real reason to shift to second there, to be honest. But here it makes sense to shift to third, obviously. And here, of course. But yeah, I guess you can tell I'm really trying to push the thing. And wow, holy shit, I actually am pushing it, my god. Oh, careful, don't want to run into that too much. Especially the grass. Oh my god. We got wheel spin. That was not what I was wanting there, to be honest. Alright, here we go. But yeah, I could say I really tried to fucking push this thing. Oh my Jesus, a 131.8. Okay, maybe I was wrong about this thing after all. I got this thing down to sub 132, which is still what I thought I could do with the BMW, but yeah, I guess if you really try to push it, you'll actually get something more out of the GT1 than I was even expecting. In fact, instead of just ending it, let's actually see what the fast level B-Spec driver would achieve with this car. Again, I'm just speeding this up so I can get to that point. But I am going to just leave it on this so I can talk about it a bit. So yeah, the GT1, if you push the damn thing, it'll go quicker. I guess really, in terms of racing, I would say probably the Toyota and the BMW are, you know, probably on par with each other, but I think when it comes to outright speed, the Toyota is faster for sure. But when it comes to handling, the BMW is a little bit sharper, I find. But honestly, what car would I go with? What one do I prefer? I'm sorry, as much as I am a handling guy where I like cars that have good handling ability, I simply just can't say no to the GT1. It was such a unique looking car for its time, and you know, it left a much huger impact, ironically, because all the games really tended to prefer using it. BMW may have been the one that won the battle, but it was really Toyota that won the war, basically. The GT1 just kind of has had left more of an impact because it's just more of a unique vehicle. It's just something you look at and just like, man, things were certainly interesting back then, because you don't really see simple designs prototypes like this anymore. All the cars these days, they all look really over the top and all aerodynamically crazy and just stuff, and then you look at something like this and it's just simple, it's elegant, it looks, but yet at the same time it still looks like it would go fast, and it's awesome. It's a really cool car, and I can't say no to the GT1 no matter how hard I try. And look at that, it was a 137.3, so you know, even the AI pretty much goes on the roughly the same pace as it was with the BMW on a clean lap. But I'm just gonna speed this up a bit. We'll just see if that's consistent, or if even this driver could find more time out of the GT1. I'd say it's probably looking roughly the same. But again, this is another reason why I prefer to drive, because the B-Spec drivers will just never keep the same pace as you will. And if you try to push them to they're more likely going to screw up. In fact, wow, that was a worse lap. Okay. But yeah, you get the idea even regardless. So yeah, the GT1 is just such a really cool vehicle, and is why I have to choose it over the V12 LMR. But yeah, anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, as we're going to switch from one platform to another platform, as we're going to take a look at the first of 4 requests I've gotten for Gran Turismo 6. So stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, thank you for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.